Hello everyone, and welcome to some more horrific news. Okay, looks like we've got a wee Nightmare on Elm Street tidbit, so I thought we'd talk about it. Robert Englund will return as Freddy Krueger on one condition. Most of the time, the actors behind the masks of our favourite slasher films have changed from installment to installment, whether it's Halloween's Nick Castle and James Jude Courtney, or Friday the 13th's Warren Gillette or Richard Brooker. The person behind the mask rarely appears for more than one or two goes. That is, of course, unless it's Scream, which is kind of the entire point of the franchise. But in the film series, A Nightmare on Elm Street, one man has reigned supreme as the dream demon known as Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund. Englund originated the role of the original 1984 film, and has reprised the part for almost all of the 8 films to follow, save for the 2010 reboot, in which Jackie Earle Haley got snuggly in the killer's sweater. Now, more than a decade later, questions have begun to surface surrounding the possibility of Englund reclaiming the role, or leaving it open for someone like Haley to take over. Unfortunately for the die-hard fans out there who have been praying to see Englund back in the gruesome prosthetics, slicing and dicing anyone who dares to fall asleep, the actor doesn't see a future reprisal likely, that is, except under one condition, and it's a colourful one literally. While speaking to Bloody Disgusting, Englund said, "There's no Freddy left in me. I could possibly voice a really high-end animated version. It'd be nice to be asked to do, but I know I can't do the fight scenes more than one take now, one angle. I just can't be snapping my head or anything like that. I'm an old dog, give me a break." If there was ever a time for a talented animator to stand at the helm of such a reimagining, it'd be now, as the film celebrates its 40th anniversary. To cheer on the milestone event, Collider's Robert Brian Taylor recently sat down with Englund and A Nightmare on Elm Street's final girl Heather Langenkamp to chat about the original movie, their memories of working with Wes Craven, and the legacy that the horror feature is still living out. Looking back on his career, still in awe of the fandom and the mania that follows the franchise, Englund said, "But just sitting here today and adding up the numbers and realising 40, and all of the other projects we've done in between, I never had an inkling that this would last this long. I knew we had a successful franchise somewhere after part 2, but I never thought we would be going for all these years and come up with 8 films and a television series, and the merchandising, as we sit here right now, a new action figures being created, a new poster, a new t-shirt, a new Funko Pop. You can now stream the original Nightmare on Elm Street on Max." And that is it. Well, I have to say, it's the same as Bruce Campbell planning for the Evil Dead animated series. It would make sense. They were talking as well about Doug Bradley coming back as Pinhead, even though he's been out of it for years. But let's be honest, you get to a certain age, and those prosthetics are not easy to wear. You know, we've seen the behind the scenes footage, those of us of a certain age anyway, remember before CGI, that they're sitting 5 hours in the makeup chair, so they're starting their day at like 3 o'clock in the morning to do a full 12-hour shoot wearing that stuff, which I'm sure it's got a bit better, but latex doesn't breathe, so you're sitting sweating in that thing. So that's the equivalent of like walking around with a weighted backpack. You know, to ask someone in their 60s or 70s, Robert Englund's in his 70s now, Bruce Campbell's in his 60s, Doug Bradley's in his 60s, late 60s, I think, hitting 70. You know what I mean? You try it, get to that age and try being that physical. It's not fair. I think sometimes fandoms just want to beat someone to death, basically, you know, just be like a workhorse, you know, just grind them right to the last minute and then send them to the glue factory. You know, sometimes I think fans are not as compassionate as they claim to be. You know, I think most of us understand that here, getting on a bit, take a rest, you've earned it. We're glad you gave us what you gave us. Like, Nightmare on Elm Street is my favourite franchise. I think you all know that. I think I'm going to have to start doing the films again. I'm trying to talk Chris into doing them with me because I know he'd appreciate them, but I just don't see the point in flogging someone to death, especially when you enjoy what they've put on. I was, what I'll admit, 2010, I was one of the naysayers when Jackie Earle Haley took over, and I was one of the ones that didn't see it for years, until Cameron and I covered it on the channel, and I was pleasantly surprised. He took it down a darker turn, but I think the mess with it, the plot line just twisted in on itself towards the end and everything else, and they had a really good premise there of using hysteria and false accusations to actually create a rage so deep that it became eternal. That would actually be a better context to play with his character, you know, his version of it, but they just messed it up and it became a bit of a damn squid, to be honest, and never took off. Yeah, Robert Englund has owned this role. There's no if, buts, or maybes about it. Like, as long as he is alive, no one else will be Freddy Krueger, and to be honest, I'm quite happy with that, because especially the state of Hollywood today, anything they make will be shit, let's be honest. They'll destroy it because there's no talented people in Hollywood anymore. They're all crap. So I'm quite happy to let it lie and still have the originals and the TV show. 8 movies and the TV show is plenty, and they're still rewatchable. That's the fun thing. I don't have to get back on board with that. Anyway, let me know what you think. And until next time, keep up to date with the channel, do the type of things, and remember to keep it creepy, keep it horrific.